Hi all dear viewers, and before we get to decentralized systems that can achieve millions of transactions per second, it might be worth it took its centralized counterpart. Internet companies such as Google, and Facebook have reached these results. Each of these firms have world-class data centers complete with the best-in-class hardware. They presumably have optimized their software stack to work in harmony with their hardwares to get the most out of their network. And on top of the best hardware and software, they have also likely architected their system for high levels of fault tolerance and implemented high levels of redundancy. And today's review is devoted to interesting effort to bring blockchain transactions on a new level. I speak about QuarkChain, which is called itself a high-capacity P2P transaction system. QuarkChain claims it will achieve over 1 million transactions per second. Basically, QuarkChain wants to build a blockchain focused on scalability and security. They'll use two protocols or layers that facilitate transactions. They talk about the root layer and the sharding layer, and it's a bit complicated and technical. In order to understand what QuarkChain really wants to do, you actually have to understand the physics behind this project. For example, quarks in physics are actually composite particles of protons and neutrons. They are the foundational building blocks of all matter. In this context, it simply means it doesn't have a substructure and cannot be split. On the scalability side, we have the sharding layer within the QuarkChain. So all minor blockchains or shards process a subset of all transactions on the QuarkChain blockchain independently. As the number of shards increases, so too does the number of transactions, which can be processed concurrently. On the security side, we have the root layer, which confirms all the blocks in the shards by including the blocks hidden in the root blocks. In other words, the root layer confirms all blocks from the shared chains but doesn't process transactions itself. And I would like to tell the main things about this project. First of all, two-T chain architecture. The first T is the root chain and the second is the sharded layer. The root chain only checks the headers of the sharded level blocks. Each sharded chain houses their own transactions, and the sharded chains will feature cross-chain communication. QuarkChain has opted for horizontal sharding. And network bandwidth. Let's start with their bold claim of 1 million TPS. I don't believe it, but let's just call this theoretical limit when they fully wrap up their development, up to 1 million transactions per second, which is much more than the current capacity, for example, of even Visa and MasterCard combined. Then cross-chain transactions. They're going to use transactions across sharded chains and of course using of smart contracts par for the course of these days during complete smart contracts. And I would like to speak about pluses and minuses of this project. If we look at the positives, would like to admit two main things. Firstly, it's going to be supporting smart contracts by the Ethereum virtual machine. The second thing is its test net. It's already operational and running ahead of schedule. QuarkChain tokens are ERC compatible and distributed on the Ethereum blockchain. This means after the mainnet is launched in the fourth quarter of 2018, the ERC tokens will be converted to the mainnet tokens by pre-mining. Simply, I mean that the future tokens will be produced by miners, and that's great. But at the same time, there are strange things for me because of which I don't feel sure. The advices are difficult to find, never mind verify. Also, the team don't really have any entrepreneurial experience. Of course, QuarkChain would need to build ICOs on top of its blockchain, which would increase its value and scalability. Not to do so would kill demand and lessen its marketing impact. Most of the activity of project was back in February and April. Basically, the code is sitting behind closed doors and there is no code to examine without getting any access. And if we speak about the tokens, the QKC or Security Utility Token will be the main component of the project's economy. As for the token metrics, it's impossible to say that we are looking in it in terms of price evaluation. Token metrics to be announced, but I know that their private sale has already closed. Their public sale is targeted for the end of May or beginning of June of 2018. More additional information you can find in the white paper, where they write about the architecture of the project, their future goals, different plans, and some interesting information. And I would like to advise you to follow them on social networks, for example, in Twitter. Here is their official page, and read their Telegram channel and answers of the developers on frequently asked questions. And to sum up, I would like to tell that it's very difficult to fully evaluate the project due to the lack of information. But Token Metrics, I'm waiting for more information about it. This is a blockchain ICO, and these are the type of projects many people do invest in. I hope that developers are working on its evolution, and as I would like to invest some money in such a prospective ICO. So I hope that this review was useful for you. I wish everybody good luck. Have a nice day. Bye.